Everyone, this is Flora and this is my system and compiler lab experiment number 3. So today our experiment is based on simulation of macroprocessor. So what is a macroprocessor or what is a macro instruction? It is a notational convenience for the programmer. It is used as a notational convenience for a programmer. And a macroprocessor is a program that copies a stream of text from one place to another, and it makes a systematic set of replacement. So you're going to have an orderly replacement, and macroprocessor are often embedded in other programs such as assemblers and compilers. So they're actually basically they do their functions in such a way. They first recognize the macro definitions. For example, in C language we have something called hash define, hash include. So they recognize those definition, then they save those definitions, and then they recognize the call. Now we always have a program which has a definition, a declaration, and a procedure call. So definitions is first recognized, then it is saved somewhere, then we have a call, and when there is a call, that part of the code is replaced by all the definitions that is stored. So for example, if you see in our program, what I have done is I have taken data in the form of a file. So I have a file input which has hash define x value already defined as 10, y value defined as 15, and then I have a C program wherein I'm using variable C and B. I'm assigning x and y, which by default if I run the C program would be C will be retaining the value of 10 and B would be retaining the value of y, and similarly another function over here D would be retaining the value of 10. So what I have done is I've taken the C program, then I've buffered the input using buffer reader, and this is another file where I'll be writing. So trial.txt is my file where I'll be writing the data. Then I have taken the data from lab3.txt and I've read each line by line. I have read, and what I've done is I have found out whether the line starts with hash defined or hash include. Now suppose if it starts with hash defined, then I have saved the variable, that is if, like for example that we have over here, it's hash defined x is 10. So I have saved the variable x into a array, a define array, and I've set its name as x. Then its value, that is the x value is 10. I have taken the value and saved it in another array. Then have continued reading. Now what I have done is I have a table which is used to declare the table for define array. So that would be predefining the table. I can set it as 0 or I can set it as any value as required. Now next if I come there, then what I've done is I've started reading the file. So once I've read the file and once I get the hash defined, like if suppose I'm using x, so I encounter with x, so what I do is I go back and I check in the table. If it is present in the table, if it's present in the table, then I append that value to it. I replace whatever, if x is 10, then I replace that value and I append the previous value that is present in the table back into the array. So this is what I've done for macroprocessor using C, redefining variable name back to its value in the program. So set name and set value, as I said, and get name is to get the name. Now if it's x, so I've got the name, and then get value is to set the value to a external variable. So, and I have used two keywords in this program basically. One is for define and one is for macro. So my program will run even if I give macro x equal to 10 or macro y 10, and for define, to make sure that it behaves both. So I have used the same set of rules that we had for hash define. I'm using for macro to process the data and set away the values. Now this is my input as I already said, and now when I run this file, now this is a sample output that I used for testing purposes. So when I run this file, this is my output file. Since I did mention this would be my output file, trial.txt, it's where my file will be written. So now if you see, I had c equal to x and b equal to y. So x value is replaced as 10 and y's value is replaced as 15, and d was also equal to x, which is replaced as 10. So this is all my experiment for macroprocessor is. Thank you.